Right then, good afternoon. Wednesday the 20th of April 2022. Happy times, it's new firmware day for Nikon Z6ii and Nikon Z7ii. If you've not heard, I don't know where you've been, because we've all been waiting for this since probably late September last year, when there was some terrific rumours going around about how the new firmware that was coming imminently was going to do X, Y and Z, and it was going to transform the camera, and it'll be totally amazing. However, that never materialised, and it was indeed just a rumour. But today we're here. Got wind of this late last week that it was coming out today, and it adds a bit of support for the new 800mm lens, which I don't have or nor have any plans to get at this time. Support for an ML-L7 remote control, whatever that is. I don't use remote controls, I use SnapBridge if I ever need to use a remote. And some updates specifically for the Nikon 70-200S lens, which is the latest 70-200 for Z camera. Now, the main areas for improvement, I'll just read them off the screen here. It says the camera focuses more readily on the subject in the centre of the frame if it fails to detect a face or eye of a portrait subject when auto area AF is selected for AF area mode. So basically, if you're using the full screen as your AF mode, rather than one of the little boxes like wide area small or wide area large, or the little single point. So if you're using the whole screen, basically it suggests that it'll stop the problem, or the well-known problem that some people have with background focusing. So you could be stood there or sat here like I am now, and it'll be focusing on what's behind me. It's happened to me a few times, so fingers crossed this should sort it out. Yeah, memory recall. I'll just read this one out. Memory recall has been altered so that regardless of the focus mode selected, the focus position chosen via autofocus does not change if the shutter button is pressed halfway while memory recall is in effect. So I think that means the focus point won't change if you let go of a half press and then press again without recomposing. I think that says focus will stay where it was. Fingers crossed. And then it says it's fixed the following issues, saying that sometimes it failed to focus on the subject in the focus area immediately after changing a battery. It's not something I've experienced. And it's fixed the following issue of reactivating the standby timer in user settings U1, 2 or 3, which would cause the shutter speed to change if the stored value was lower than 30 seconds. So basically, if you're doing a long exposure, but you're waiting for the light to be right, or the clouds to be in the right position, I think it's suggesting that if you've left it for a while, the camera goes to sleep. As soon as you reawaken the camera, it's saying that it'll keep the same shutter speed, so rather than having to reset it frantically because the light's perfect, then it should stay as it was. That's for things less than 30 seconds, so that's all good. Pictures viewed by rotating the main command dial after zooming in on an image in tall portrait. So yeah, so if you've taken a picture in portrait, it's suggesting that when you zoom in it goes back to landscape, so it messes up your zooming. So apparently that's been fixed. And a bit of jitter, French, bit of jitter would occur when outputting your footage to HDMI devices. So they say they've fixed that, and they're saying that they've fixed the fact that movie record didn't function with certain gimbals while recording to an external device. So perhaps if you've got a Ronin SC and an Atomos on the top, saying that the record button didn't work sometimes. But apparently they fixed it all. So there are all the updates that they've told us about. Obviously, they always do a little bit of work in the backgrounds that they don't like telling us about, whether, for whatever reason. So fingers crossed, this is going to be a very good update. I'm going to do it in about 5 minutes. I'm waiting for it to come up on SnapBridge so I can show you how to do it via the app. But the update is only available on the Nikon download centre page as it stands at 1 PM UK time. So if that appears on the app in the next 5 or 10 minutes, so be it. If not, I'm going to crack on and just do it the old-fashioned way via the CFX card. Early reports are that it's quite a good update. People are saying the usual things of it. You know, the eyes are snappier, it finds the eye from further away or the face from further away. The yellow box is a bit stickier. That's just the rumblings on social media. But again, as with all these things, until you try it yourself, you'll never know whether it's an actual improvement or if it's just a bit of bravado by other people trying to claim a first or something, or if it's just a placebo effect. But, you know, Nikon have got a good record of providing these firmware updates, and they certainly transformed the Z6, which I'm filming on now, with the last update when I think we went to 3.4. It was like getting a new camera again. So yeah, fingers crossed. If you've updated already, let me know how you've got on with it. Let me know if you've found any difference, or whether you just think it's, you know, just another incremental increase. I'd be interested to know your thoughts, and if you've got it on the SnapBridge app at 1 o'clock on the 20th of April, if you found it via SnapBridge, please let me know as well. Obviously by the time this has gone around YouTube a couple of times, it'll be on SnapBridge by then and everyone will be happy. But yeah, so I'm going to prepare, give everything a clean while I'm here, because it's always good practice to clean your kit. I've got a few weddings, well, I've got 2 weddings up this weekend, so I'm going to get everything clean before then. And I'll see you soon. All right, take care. See ya.